You know what creeps around at night? Nasty Nancy. You know what time it is? Time for another episode of The Rhino and the Dude. I think you'll be very impressed, very impressed. Today, we're joined by...
Eric.
The Rhino. We're joined by Hannah here today. First off,
I'm the Rhino, sorry.
You're the Rhino.
You're throwing me off by staring at me.
I'm the
so
Dude.
Uncomfortable.
And we have a new setup thanks to Julie.
Yeah, thanks, Julie.
Here we go again for another episode. And guess what? We have a special announcement to make, guys. The return.
I'm back. Hi. What's up, Eddie?
Sammy.
I'm here. I'm in the background, so you see my hand.
How's it been, Sammy?
It's been good. I've been missing life out, in this small studio, but we're living. Proceed.
Yeah. And thank you. Now Eddie can stop doing all these things.
It was rough. It was rough without Sammy.
You have some weird emotional thing going on.
It's just like Sammy to be here. He makes the place safe when it comes to tech and stuff like that.
Whatever.
We got the fighting side handled. He's got the tech side and the video and all that.
Okay.
I mean, when you can't say that when Sammy's been here, anybody spilled stuff on the carpet.
Well, yeah, but also, I've been here more times than Julie has been without stuff being spilled on the carpet.
True.
But it was absolutely 100% my fault. Sorry.
So, Hannah, before we get going, this is brought to you by Eddie Doud Real Estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, let the dude fight for you by calling 410-588-6536. Hannah, this is also brought to you by the Podcast Lab. If you're looking to record a podcast, you can record it right here. Hit us up. The Podcast Lab. We got Sammy. We got everything. We're ready to rock. Hannah, what's up? This is also brought to you by Gatorade now.
Was it? It's P2.
How's it going?
It's going good.
So, Hannah is big into speed skating, and I don't understand it. So I want Hannah to come and explain it to the dude, the smartest dude I know.
Is this
see if he
is
gets
also
it.
brought to you by Taco Bell?
Dude, don't hate on my shirt, man. Don't hate. Don't hate.
The Rhino's favorite.
Gonna
Like,
get mine.
Yeah, and
And
brought to you by
Stanley
Stanley Combatives. If you want to get combative, go to Stanley's Combatives. Hey, that was pretty good.
and Adidas.
No.
And Nike. Oh, he's not even matching.
No,
Man,
I don't
calling me out.
either.
But tell us about this. What is the difference between like speed skating and like me going to the roller rink and like roll bouncing with Nick Cannon?
Well, roll bouncing is more like groove skating. You're like dancing around. Speed skating, you can't do that.
Okay.
All you're doing is you're going in a kind of like an oval shape.
So track.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just a track.
Okay. And then how far have you competed in it?
I went to the American Championships out in Colorado Springs, which is a fairly new event. I never did go to the nationals for the main league.
Yeah. And is it different skating in Colorado compared to like Maryland?
Yeah, so we don't have any like national events out here. That's more like Midwest for like everybody to convene. Out here you might get a couple of invitationals, but it's mostly just like for your league. So there's like different areas, like you have the Northeast and then you have the Southeast and etc.
Now your league, is it just this is Northeast, Southeast, East? Is that what it is? Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was more exciting. I thought it was gonna be like, it's like one FC in the UFC, or it's like NBA, like the G League. Like,
How did you get into
like
speed
soccer.
skating?
Yeah. What?
Skating.
Where'd you find
Actually,
that?
the team that I started skating on, they're from Harrisburg, and they wanted to spread the sport, so they reached out to our rink and wanted to start a team there. So that's how I found out about it. My sister started doing it, and then I was like, that looks hella fun, so I'm going to do it.
Now, speed skating is not the one where you're allowed to like beat the crap out of each
Yeah,
other,
that's
right?
roller derby.
That's roller derby.
Yeah, that's derby.
you
No, I
wanna do
never
that?
did derby.
Like,
Would you do derby though?
No.
I think
Why
your
not?
sister would do derby though.
Absolutely.
I feel like your sister would kill it.
Absolutely. She
Is your
would
sister
bash faces in if she wanted to.
Your sister could be an
a
aggressive
little
person.
rough.
She can.
She wear like a dog collar.
No.
We're not talking about her dog.
No, like back in the day,
I know
kids
what
wore
you're
the
talking about.
dog
No,
collars with
no, she
spikes.
does not.
That was like a
They had
weird,
the one
Yeah, that was-
tier.
Those are wristbands. Like that's normal, but like
wristbands?
wearing a collar is kind of.
I mean, if
an
you
odd
wear
one.
a spiky necklace, it's not, or a wristband, like it's not even bracelet. It's not even.
No, I don't think that's
not
ever been in my
normal.
house.
Dude, if you don't wear spiked wrist bracelets, don't sit with me at the lunch table. That's all I gotta say.
That's fine.
Yeah, thank you. God, I didn't want to be at the table anyway.
Like I said, we wouldn't have liked each other in high school.
Have I already told you the story? We were sitting somewhere and like we're finished trading, like we're just sitting somewhere. I'm like, hey, let's go get lunch. We go and get lunch. We're sitting there, silence. I'm just eating. Eddie's just eating. He like looks at me and goes, you know what, man? If we met each other in high school, we wouldn't be friends in high school. I wouldn't like you in high school. I was like, thanks, Eddie. We're like 22 years old at this point. We've been friends for years, and we're just sitting there eating. And like, he just starts saying this to me. I'm like, wow, damn.
It was a
Out
compliment.
of nowhere.
No.
I don't know. How do you take that? Like, how do you take that from someone?
I was
Mind
just
you,
thinking, I was like, I probably wouldn't have been friends with
it
you
was
in high
probably
school.
like 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, like dead silent in the room.
Yeah,
That's all he said to me.
Dude thinks deep, like.
Yeah, that was as deep as a creek.
It's
As
good
deep as
thing
a
you guys
puddle.
are good friends, because I'd have been upset if that was an acquaintance.
That was just such a random statement.
I wouldn't have liked you in high school.
He's like, yeah, we would have been friends in high school. It's because Eddie was too cool in high school.
With my 0 friends.
Yeah, he kissed a girl once at camp.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, she went to a different camp.
One girl.
Yeah, camp, dude. You know what? It's camp.
Made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world.
Dude, oh, that's
You
the
might
gold
think I'm
guest.
small, but I'm not.
Dude, Froggy Fresh is the guest.
The baddest of them all. You know about Froggy Fresh?
No. No, I
Sammy,
don't.
you know about Froggy Fresh? I knew that you were a Froggy Fresh guy.
Oh, absolutely. So
The coolest guys around the town.
He was
Everybody
he's a
come
YouTube
and
rapper.
gather around.
and just like really bad. But like years ago, our buddy, when he walked out to one of his fights, walked out to one of
No,
his songs.
I don't think he actually did.
He did.
No, he didn't. He
I'm pretty
wanted
sure
to,
he did.
and he didn't. We downloaded. That was back in the CD days, and we downloaded the baddest of them all, but the CD didn't work. So he
Oh.
so he went
But
from.
you committed to doing it
man.
though.
No, he committed to doing it, but he didn't do it because the CD didn't work. So we had to go. Because I had we all had it on the CDs, but for whatever reason, the DJ didn't.
The DJ knew the song was
didn't
like,
work.
nah.
The CD didn't work. So he went from walking out to baddest of them all to walking out from Ain't No Sunshine by DMX. That's a big contrast.
Yeah,
Like
the best song of all time, and then DMX. Like,
Yeah, like why would you even go that stupid that long?
like you're dropping your standards.
But this DJ, he had he didn't know basic artists. Like people had to come to the booth, like his booth, and tell him different artists. So he would like somebody came up and said Johnny Cash because they probably wanted to walk out to that "God's Gonna Cut You Down" song, and he's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "How are you in music and you don't know who Johnny Cash?" Like, you don't have to like Johnny Cash, but if you're in music, like there's certain people that you have to know who they are. Like you're gonna know who Johnny Cash is. You're gonna know
Johnny Cash,
Frank Sinatra is.
Frank Sinatra, Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know those three,
but there's certain
you do
people-
not know music.
Am I right? Am I right? Like there's certain
No,
people
there's certain
that are
artists
just
that
kind
you
of
definitely
staples.
know. Yes, like staples of music, you do know.
That if
and
you-
that's why I'm
you
naming
don't
those
know
three.
that, yeah.
Those are the big three of music.
Yes.
Like the Mount Rushmore of music, Johnny Cash.
And you know
Frank
what grinds
Sinatra.
my gears? Now that I
Weird
think
Al
about it.
Yankovic. And you know what, man? Krispy Kreme.
I know Weird Al. He's
You know what
hilarious.
grinds my gears? You know what really grinds my gears,
What
Eric?
really grinds your gears, Eddie?
You ever notice how people, especially like the rap industry, they quote Tupac and like, well, what would Pac think? And I'm like, well, all due respect, guy had some good songs.
Well, great songs. Nothing like Froggy Fresh.
How old was Tupac when he died? The dude was literally like 21 or 22, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it's like in his late 20s.
No, he was not.
Google it. I'll pull it up right now. Hold on.
He was under 25.
No idea.
We're looking up right now because I'm pretty sure he was
But
not
regardless,
like 21.
even if
But it was young. I know
even
that.
if he was even if he was 29,
25.
he was 25. Okay. Even if he was 29, regardless, if you're in your 20s, okay, there's people that are good, but for him to be like quoted like, "Whoa, I wonder what he was thinking." You got like a 60-year-old man quoting, "I wonder what this 25-year-old thought. I'm going to base my thought off of that."
Well, also he was like super influential artist when he was alive.
Okay, but still.
Okay, but your argument doesn't matter.
he was an
It's against
influential
mine.
he was an influential artist. Okay. But the guy was 25. What makes people that are 50 years old take this guy's opinion into account when he's 25 years old? I could care less about his opinion or anyone else's opinion, especially in music or Hollywood.
Wow, is that your TED Talk?
That's my TED Talk.
Okay. Proud of you. Proud of you for standing for what you believe in. You know who else stands up for what he believes in? Eddie Doud Real Estate. If you're looking to buy, sell,
invest in real estate,
call, I don't know his phone number.
410-588-6536.
And don't forget to use the podcast lab for all your podcast needs. Okay, there's my plug for the next 10 minutes. Now, Hannah is a big outdoors person, lives camping. You lived in your car. Would you live in a van? And he lived in he fixed up a van.
She's a big outdoors person.
You lived in a car. That was my favorite thing I've ever said.
It's considered outside.
Have you ever van-dwelled?
No. What?
So van dwelling is like living in a van.
Oh, I thought he said Van Weld.
Like,
and I was
the weird thing about
confused.
Eddie's was though, it had the words free candy and the big letters and stuff, but
No, the closest I got to that
choice.
was taking the twin mattress and putting it in the back of the minivan so I could sleep in the parking lot at the sportsplex for the skate event.
That's van dwelling. That's van dwelling. You just
I didn't
do it
want to pay for a hotel.
Where was this event?
This was up in PA. I think it was Whitehall. It was the regional.
Okay, and
event.
you're just like,
Yeah.
got
Well,
this.
a lot of people have campers that they take and just park everywhere, but I had a van.
there you go.
It worked.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Was it fun?
Yeah. It was fun.
I love van dwelling. We're going to be going on another van trip here soon.
Are you?
We're renting a nice van.
Oh, like a fixed up one
With
with
a
the bed and
bathroom and all
and
this.
the toilet and stuff in it.
Yeah, rich person's van.
So you're just moving a house with you.
yeah, I mean, it's still a van.
It's a little house.
It's
But
a
we're
little
going-
different
we're going
than
to-
van dwelling.
Well, I mean, it's still a van. It's still a van. It's a Class B RV, so it's in between an RV and a van, but it's essentially a van.
Where are you guys going?
California. We're gonna ride up the coast to California.
Awesome.
Just because.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at
What,
the bums.
you don't want to?
Yeah, I'd be cool with it. But
I
also,
mean,
I'd be
I'm
cool
not
with-
super excited to go to California, but it's a place that I need to see before it falls in the ocean. So, or before it burns or whatever else.
happens next. You don't know what's happening out there.
Who knows? I mean, I'm kind of not excited, but I'm like, I need to see it before it falls in the ocean. So,
It's for the birds, baby. It's for the birds.
you hear that crunching? Hear that crunching?
Sandwich sounds good.
Yeah. Sammy, you told us you got
Podcast is brought to you by Subway.
What'd you get?
You got a sub. It's like it doesn't matter. You just got a sub.
But it's just a sub.
Oh, well, also, tell them about your breakfast sub.
Oh, I went to okay. First off,
Disgusting.
don't judge me. What would Tupac say? A man that eats Subway for breakfast is a man.
Two bucks name of my Subway sandwich. I'm just thinking hit me hit him up.
Oh my god.
So, I was at my mom's house, and I spent the night over there. So, wake up in the morning. She's like, "You want to go to Subway, get something breakfast?" I'm like, "Yeah, never had." She's like, "Never have either. I'm just kind of hungry." So we go there. First off, the place, it says it opens at 8, and we got there at 8:30, and the guy is there, but the door's locked. And we're like, "Are they not open at 8:30 or 8 o'clock?" And he comes and opens the door. He's like, "Oh, well, I get here at 8." No, it's like I get here. Like he gets there at the time that it opens.
It says opens.
But it's supposed to be open, so it's like, okay, glad to know that means the time that you get there. Anyway, we get the sub. I got some a nice, a very good breakfast sandwich, just the basics, just the basics: a steak, egg, and cheese with some olives on it. So I went to eat the olives on the sandwich, and it tasted like manure.
Because you put olives on it.
Olives and eggs.
Olives and eggs are just a staple.
Please, in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong, but olives and eggs is not a
I
combination.
mean, I also had other things. I had lettuce, tomato, onion.
No, you didn't tell us that. You just said, "Oh, I got my
Well, I had all
steak,
that
egg, and
stuff
cheese
on there.
with olives."
Yeah, I had all that stuff on there, and I had some olives too. But the olives tasted like. The way that a manure smells, that's what it tasted like.
Okay, I'm
How
glad
do
you
you
didn't
know
say
it
the
was
way
the
manure
olives?
tasted. No, that's true too. Like,
You had
Because
so many items on there. It could have
this
been
might
anything.
not have made it to
olives-
checking the steak by the time you got
when
there.
I
You're just
took
like, okay.
the olives off, it tasted much better.
Well, there's your
Okay.
answer from the
Okay.
get go
Yes.
though. Like,
Yeah.
don't get a steak sub with egg and steak sub with olives probably.
I won't get a sub with olives on it anyway.
What do you guys not like olives at all?
No.
I'm not like the biggest olive person, but like I wouldn't get like eggs and olives. I don't think that's a combination that you should do.
I think that like my family are the only people that like olives.
I don't mind olives, but
My
I'm not
grandmother
just, like, eggs
just
and olives.
Sammy's
snacks on
shaking
them.
his head
Like she'll
that
just
people
take a
don't like
jar of them and just eat them.
That's how I am. Like we used to get like the
it's so gross.
you get the green olives with the peppers on them. We used to get feta cheese, olives, some whatever the ham was, real good ham, and like this Italian bread, and we would make these sandwiches with this ham, feta cheese, olives. So good.
It sounds delicious,
Yeah.
but like, do you see the thing that you're not having on that sandwich? Eggs. Like I'm just saying, eggs changes everything.
It makes the whole thing go bad.
It changes olives and eggs. Just sounds gross. Like,
really
please tell me if
does.
I'm wrong, but it sounds disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, we'll let the audience decide.
So, Mike Starfish, let me know what you think about that. Okay.
Wait, starfish doesn't count. By the way, we have video yesterday. So it's been cauliflower season. Yesterday, I had video of starfish getting his
He had
ear
to get his ear
drained.
drained, right? Yeah.
How do you know this?
I saw it on Instagram.
Oh, okay, Instagram.
He
Okay,
posted all about it.
gotcha. Yeah, he posts about everything, right?
Yeah.
But I
I don't
had
know about
that.
everything. I don't know
So
about
I
this
mean,
guy's
we
life.
could post that. We can release that to the public. But the funny thing was, Tarek puts the needle in his ear, and he starts to. Yes, this is how it works. Are we grossing you out? Okay. So he puts the needle in his ear, and he goes to pull back the plunger, and it broke. The needle, whatever it did, it broke. And we're like, oh my god.
no.
So then he had like these really tiny needles. And I was like, well, let's see what my needles are. They're a little bit bigger since we all just keep needles in our trunk as jiu-jitsu guys. So my needles, insulin needles were better. And that's what I used for my ear recently. And we drained his ear in the parking lot. You know?
Yeah. And I remember he had, specifically remember the picture, he had like a paper towel and then like
It was
a
a
chip
horrible
bag clip.
idea. Horrible idea. You got to get the Cali Buds. This podcast is brought to you by Cali Buds. If you have cauliflower ear, get Cali Buds.
Yeah, but he had a chip clip, like the ones you get for like your bag of chips when you
Right.
You had that on his ear. I love it. I love the energy of that.
That sounds so sanitary.
Well, he had a paper towel wrapped it, and then he clipped the outside of the paper towel, so it wasn't like
And I'm mad that he
Cheeto
didn't shout
dust
me
on the thing.
He didn't shout me out on his post either, because I'm the one that gave him the needle.
maybe
I
now
gave him the needle.
he should. Right, you would have make an apology to
Yes.
you.
Starfish.
Get on it. John Starfish, get on it.
John Mike.
I'm dying here. Dead silence. What next?
What next?
I can't.
this is a
like I
great
was killing
podcast.
some topics for a
What
minute there.
next?
But what's new with you? What is the dude doing next besides getting an RV van and reliving his glory days?
Gentleman never tells what I'm up to.
Okay, that made it weird. So Hannah, what's new?
That did make it really weird.
So you said you work with you. I don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't paint porcelain. You.
She's a
don't tell me-
porcelain
You
expert.
bedazzle it.
No.
You
Keep guessing.
graffiti it.
No. You got 2 more tries. You got 2 more tries.
Oh, you hang it from a rope from a ceiling and you throw darts at it.
That sounds a lot more interesting than what I actually do.
Do you like take the paintbrush and be like,
Yeah, you do the whole.
No.
or do you do the marble, and you put
Or
a
do you
box
do the
around it?
do you do the like you
That stuff's
you
cool.
tie the paint can to the ceiling and then you poke a hole in the bottom and you like swing it and let it just
No,
kinda
I've
circle.
always
do
wanted
that?
to try that.
Have you seen
though.
that? No, that's
It
super
looks
cool
like
looking.
so much fun.
They like take like
I want to do the.
And then
I remember.
push
You
it
ever
and
did
it
the
makes
marble
a
when you
cool
were a
circle.
kid? Like they build a little box around the. They take like a portrait or a picture of paper or whatever, and then they have the little box that
Oh,
goes
and
around.
you shake
and
the
you
marbles.
shake it and you put the little.
No, I've
different-
never done it.
We did that when I was a kid.
That was so much fun. I
And
want
it's
to do it
like,
again.
yeah, you shake them. Oh yeah, no, I had fun in my childhood. No, I remember there was a mini game in Mario Party that was that where you had like move the shell around like.
You guys played it in games. I did it in real life.
Dude, I got to be Bowser while I did that. Who had it better? Who had it better?
Is that the game
Eric
that you were
did.
telling us about?
which one?
I don't know. The one that you were talking about the other week.
Oh no, that was Sly Cooper on
Okay.
Among Thieves. Sammy, do you know that game? Oh, it was a PlayStation 2 game. That's upset. It
That
upsets me that no one knows that one. It was super
familiar. I think my cousins had
fun. You were a
it.
raccoon, and you had like
Yeah,
a little
okay.
cane that you'd steal money from
My
people.
cousins had that.
and your-
I played it a couple
Your
times.
buddies that helped you steal stuff. One was like a pink hippo, and the other was like a nerdy turtle. And it was super
While you
fun.
guys
I don't
were out,
remember those. I just remember the raccoon.
while
There was
you
like 4 of
guys-
those games. They had like a series.
While you guys were out there playing raccoons, I was out there selling rocks to the kids.
What? You're selling rocks?
Driveway rocks. It was a great business.
Wait, who's buying single driveway rocks?
I sold rocks as a kid. I sold rocks as a kid. I sold traffic cones as a kid.
I'm just saying.
I sold
Wait,
lemonade.
how did you acquire the traffic cones? Did you take
My
them?
father was a plumber, and my father had an abundance of traffic cones, and kids had interesting traffic cones. So what happened was, one of the kids in the neighborhood wanted a traffic cone for his brother's birthday. So
Okay.
he had $10, and his mother told him he was allowed to buy one cone, but he had for $5. I told him the price for the cone, but he had a $10 bill. So he came up, and I'm like, well, I knew that his mother said this, but I was like, well, I'll sell you 2 traffic cones for $5. Since you got that 10, you can get 2 of them. So he came back with 2 cones, and his mom this mom got so involved with like the kid affairs. I think I told you before
Yeah,
about the kid
overbearing
that
mom, yeah.
the kid I killed in the wilderness in RuneScape. And she called my mom.
Okay, I'm glad there's a little bit of context
Yes,
because I was
good
concerned
thing I
for a
said
second.
that.
Kid, I killed the
I was
wilderness.
like, wait.
Like, oh yeah, and we had to bury him over that tree.
Eddie's political career over. Epstein
It was like
English.
over traffic cones.
So I sold him 2 traffic cones for instead of 1. His mom rides up in her minivan up the driveway and just lays on the horn, and I just took off running because I was like, "Yeah, I got my money."
I got my $10. Time to flee. He's like, anyone's like right away. He's like, I'll see you on the scape. I'll see you on the scape. We'll settle this in the wilderness.
Just get stitches on the skate.
World's 582. What? Be there.
So she's laying on the horn, and my mom comes out. She's like, "What? What's going on? What?" Like she probably thinks
And he's
like,
like-
I got hit by a car or somebody's
He's dead.
So, yeah. And she's yelling, "Eddie sold." Let's say Joe. That's not the actual name.
Okay, what's
Eddie
Joe?
sold Joe 2 cones instead of 1. And my mom's like, "What are you talking about?" Mind you, my mom probably has no
she doesn't know what you're
idea
doing.
that I'm selling cones because my dad had 500 of them. So,
That's hilarious.
and she's like, "What? He was only supposed to sell him 1, and he took his money and sold him 2." And my mom's just kind of like, "Why are we involved in this as parents?" This is like something I feel like
As adults, why is this important to us? Oh, that's so funny. And then you were just like sitting behind you, like,
But he wanted 2. He wanted 2.
He was a customer, okay?
He was a customer. He wanted 2. What is with this? This goes back to politics. Like
we're not
the
supporting an
government-
open market.
Yeah, this is not a free market. You got governments, intervening.
moms in minivans
We
intervening.
got governments, moms in minivans intervening in the free market. Let the market work.
Well, that's
the
why-
customer the market wanted 2 cones. And 2 cones were sold. So supply and demand.
I'm just saying, that's why we gotta settle things on the scape in the wilderness from now on.
Did you ever go
Any
on
disputes on the scape in the wilderness? Yes, I did.
eBay and try to
I'm on
buy
eBay.
tokens? Like, I tried to convince my mom to give me money to buy like 4,000 tokens for RuneScape. She never would because she wasn't one of those moms that buy things. Nowadays, these kids get all this stuff.
And
I
that's
just wanted
kinda
like
more normal now too.
I just wanted like $3 to get 4,000 RuneScape coins.
Well, we're gonna buy with your 4,000 RuneScape coins.
Whatever the RuneScape stuff was.
Whatever you bought on RuneScape.
What did
I
you buy
never
on
played
RuneScape?
RuneScape.
How old are you?
Mid-armor.
I'll be 25 soon.
Was that before you? What was the era of RuneScape? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I actually still have a friend
I
who
think it
still
was
actively
like
plays it to
the
this
iPhone
day.
4
Really?
era
Yeah.
when that actually came out.
I don't think
iPhone
iPhones
4?
existed yet. No.
Cell phones didn't like.
No.
It was a flip phone, if
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
I
I didn't
was
even
in-
have a cell phone.
Well,
yet
I
when
never played.
This
I
was
only
like
knew about it in like.
2003.
You just dated us. That's not cool.
Literally like 2003.
I didn't get a phone
Yeah, that's what I was
until
I don't have this answer for you,
2010,
I'm sorry.
2011.
I mean, I think I got a phone in like 20. I think I got my first phone in like 07.
No, that's
But it was
not
a
right.
flip phone. It was cellular. Before
Yeah,
it
no,
merged with
singular.
AT&T. Singular.
Yeah, it was a singular
Before it-
phone.
Before
Was
it
it the one
merged.
with the little like mirror built into it?
Yes, on the
Yes.
front of it.
Yeah, I had the
it's
same
probably-
cell phone. Let's go.
And then I had this
Go,
other
that's
one.
pretty sweet.
I had this other one that had the.
I didn't know that cell
So,
phones came with mirrors.
It was a flip phone, but like where like they used to have like the little screens. This one wasn't cool enough for the screen. It was like the first one you get. Like, you get the plan, they gave you the phone, but it had like a little tiny mirror, and you'd be like, "Whoa!" I used to try to
and
sit
you
in
would
class
beg-
and hit the
I
light
bet
with it
you
and try to put it in
every
like people's
girl in
eyes.
high school was doing their makeup in that
No,
little
every
teeny
girl in
tiny
high school
mirror.
had the razor.
That was
razor
later
phone.
on, though. That was later on. At
Well,
first,
it
that
depends.
was a
It
couple
depends on
years.
like how much money the girl's family had, because like some of these girls had like the razor phone right away.
Yeah.
I had my little phone with a little mirror. I was probably fine with it. I texted 2 people.
And then I remember it was a big up. I finally, big come up. I finally got a phone with a camera on it.
Oh,
and
yes.
I made videos, and I was just like, I am going to make a movie with
And you
this
could
camera.
get like your
And
own
then-
custom background. Did
And
you
that-
ever go on the computer and look up like a picture and be like, yes, and like line it up with your camera, right?
I
Take
wasn't
it,
big
set
on
your
the backgrounds. I was big on the ringtones. And
okay.
here's something that you being in 2010, you won't understand this. Back
being
in the
an
day, getting music to just listen to wasn't something that was just abundantly available. You
had to
would
record
literally
it with the
record it
phone
with
and
the
then
phone,
set it.
and it was only like a 30-second thing. So sometimes when you're bored, you're walking or something, you would go to the ringtones and listen to your 30-second recording of the song and be like,
Like, okay,
I
this is
never
pretty
did that.
sweet.
I did have the flip phone where you had to record the music to set your custom ringtone and stuff.
Yeah.
But I never.
So I don't know
just
when
listened to my
iPods
ringtone.
came out, like what era that was, or I just didn't have it.
I had an iPod before I had not like a like.
I think that they
I
were
had
the
a-
same
I had
time.
an MP3 player before I had a phone, but it wasn't an iPod. So I don't know if the iPod. I bet the iPod was already out. If there was like a cheap MP3 player that had like 25 songs on it.
I remember the first one I ever had. You had to like twist it, and you didn't know what song was next. It was, I guess, it was
Oh, you
kind
had
of
the
like,
shuffle, right?
It wasn't I did everything that I got at first was never the name brand. It was never until later, until that became so cheap. And I literally would buy these things off of this site. There was a police auction site. Propertyroom.com. I don't know how I just remember the site, but
Look at
propertyroom.com.
propertyroom.com.
See if it's still a thing. Propertyroom.com was a police auction site where they would sell whatever stuff they got. So you get jewelry. They sell cars on there. I mean, for $1,000. But they would have iPods on there. And I would just get for some reason, you always lose your iPod for somebody to steal it. I would always get like the $100 iPod, which was like the 2 gigabyte. And then I remember one time I got like a 40 gigabyte one. And I was like, oh, yeah. Come on.
Got 40 gigabytes.
Yo, this is still a thing.
Is it still a thing?
Yeah, you could buy an Apple iPhone 6X Plus with 128 gigabytes. There's 13 bids in right now. It's at $62. This is a rare penny. There's a Fiat
Have I been shopping wrong my whole life?
Yeah.
Daft Punk.
Have you ever been
memory.
involved in an eBay bidding war?
Dude, there's a van
Yes,
here.
I have been
Is
on
there a
eBay
van? How
few
much is the van?
times.
$150 right now.
Let's buy the
But
van.
there's 6 days. Are we gonna buy a van and then do our next podcast in the
in the
van we bought?
In the van.
And then we'll just renovate it and it'll be our next studio.
Yeah.
The podcast lab to go.
Yeah.
We pull up in front of your house. You record. Boom. We're bringing the podcast to you.
Sounds a little more efficient.
We're in the future, baby. What else they got? They got a lot of like rare dollar bills and stuff.
Propertyroom.com. I'm sure no one is shouting you out. So Here you go, propertyroom.com.
Honestly, like I'm
Pay
kind of
us.
impressed. that, like you remember this, and it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know how I remember that.
There's a Kobe Bryant collection that's live right now.
That means
It's
that
like,
somebody. Is it still say like
It's a
police?
high school ring for sale for almost $300.
Does it still say police? Is it a police auction still?
Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, there's
So
a
that
police
means that
auction there, too.
somebody got Kobe
Is it
Bryant memorabilia.
confiscated items?
Confiscated, yes. It's confiscated items sold. And
I mean, if it works, I don't care.
they sell they sell nice jewelry on there. So if you're looking for a nice
tight now.
engagement ring, you
had
know,
a
you
nice,
can
like,
get one that's
class
been
ring
stolen.
that had like a nice little ruby in it. It was like $250.
You can get your girl a nice engagement ring. You know,
It would be cool. It'd be a really cool thing if they gave you like where they got the ring from.
As long as you never
Show you
tell
the
me about it,
person's
I
mugshot.
won't care.
No, it's like where did they get the ring? They give you like a little blurb. It was like, this ring used to belong to Jessica. Jessica had an unfortunate accident. Like and like give you a whole description about like what happened to her. Oh, that would be great. Property.
property.
How did you remember that? What? So you bought an
don't know.
iPod off there?
I bought multiple iPods and stuff off there. I was a hustler.
How'd you even find out
how'd you
about that?
Find out about that.
I was looking for auction police. Somebody probably told me that you can buy stuff cheap, police auctions, and
You were just like, yes.
they have jewelry on there too.
Yeah, I would've been
Obviously,
too.
Yeah.
they have jewelry on there too. So I imagine I was also probably trying to sell iPods in school, and I was probably trying to sell jewelry in school.
So you were the property room.
I mean, nobody knew about these things. At first, nobody knew about Amazon.
They didn't have to know.
Dude, at first,
And
nobody
he did give him the blurb with what happened to Jessica.
At first, nobody knew about Amazon, and you could get like CDs for $4 on there, but everybody's paying $20 for the CD on at
iTunes.
FYE or wherever, record and tape
I spent
traders.
so much money on CDs too.
I miss the CD era.
I still
still have
have
a-
a ton of mine.
I still have a book in my side. I have a little book.
I don't
of
have a
CDs.
CD book. I have like a DVD book.
Yeah.
Like I used to get
I don't have a DVD book.
DVDs all the time. Like I have two
it gives
big
me
ones.
joy. It always gave me joy to like, get a new DVD. Like,
I think
oh,
it's
got
just
that movie.
to hold, like to get to watch the movie, but also like to hold it.
I think it's
different
having the
now.
actual
Yeah, having
item
the
than to
physical
just
thing in your
have the
hands.
digital
But now,
file.
how many times do you rewatch a movie? It doesn't
Depends
really
on how
happen.
good the movie is.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like back in the day, you would watch. Oh, we watched that movie 6 times this week.
As a kid, yes, I watched The Little Giants probably like 30 times.
Oh
in,
my
like, a week
God.
or two.
Listen, my movie growing
I love
up
The Little Giants.
was Spirit. The
Oh, the
Stallion
horse
of the
one.
Yes,
Yes, the horse.
That was my favorite
Same
movie
as, like,
ever.
yes.
I still sometimes
See?
go back and watch that movie
Aging
because I loved it
yourself.
so much. Like for
That was-
4
that
years
was
straight, that's
definitely
all I would
after our
watch.
time.
No, dude. I remember for me it was, ironically enough, with you last episode, it was Austin Powers. I watched so much as a kid,
I loved
Never
it.
and
seen
I had like this like.
You've never seen Austin
I've
Powers?
Oh
never
my
seen
God, that's so
Austin
not
Powers.
groovy. Ah, that's so ungroovy.
Gosh.
I can't
Make that
handle
face at me.
it. No, but man, Austin Powers.
Moly, moly.
Look, growing up, stuff was limited. My mom was like, well, she still is like this devout Christian, so things were very limited. I wasn't allowed to watch Scooby-Doo until I was 13.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't
So-
watch
You
Harry Potter.
you need to stay home when you were sick and watch a puppy named Scooby Doo.
No.
Oh,
Only
it was
if
so much
mom
better when
was
he a
sitting in
puppy.
the room watching it with me so she could change it if she thought I was going to have nightmares. So,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
watch like Harry Potter and stuff like that.
That's
growing
That's
up.
kind of crazy.
Really? I mean,
like
it's-
Harry Potter
I wanted to, but she wouldn't let me because she didn't like the wizard thing.
yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch
was that your family
Pokemon
too,
or
or was that
Yu-Gi-Oh
just
or
like you just didn't want
anything.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Oh, I didn't. I just
This
think
was
you just weren't
witchcraft.
interested into it.
Yeah, no, it was because like witchcraft spells and stuff.
Sorry, my parents were like, "Yeah, watch it. We don't care."
Like, you
Your
want to
sister
cast
read
a
all the
spell?
books. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I thought it was like that. You weren't allowed to watch Pokemon. Oh man, the Pokemon.
You were
craze is
on
crazy.
the. I don't think that
I
we were
was
that bad.
sheltered.
I know that they say that Pikachu means I hate you in some other language.
Yeah,
I remember
suppose that was like a
saying
thing. Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
But
that
there,
was-
there's like theories about everything.
yeah, everything has a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. The first gaming station I ever had in my house was the Wii.
Oh,
And it
really?
was like,
did you have Wii Sports where you could play tennis?
yeah, we had Wii Sports, we had the Wii Fit, and Super Mario Brothers was already like downloaded onto it.
I'm
and then I
sorry.
had Smash Bros. I had Brawl.
I'm
And I
sorry.
still
Bro, that
play
came
that.
on the GameCube though.
I know.
Wait, was that the one for the GameCube?
No, Melee.
No, Melee was a GameCube.
Melee was a
one.
game. I know that because my cousin
bad.
had it.
Thanks, Sam.
I swear that every sheltered family, the one game system they had was the Wii.
Yeah.
Wii.
Because you get Wii Fit and Wii Sports.
If I
was that
wanted a
clean
new
as-
game, I had to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was very much like, you get an hour of game time as long as all of your homework's done.
Now,
And I'm like,
what was your first game system?
I had a Nintendo 64.
I've never played on one of those.
Yeah, I didn't have, we had a
Nintendo
Sega,
64 is awesome. Did you Sega Genesis?
Sega Genesis.
I remember when I was a
miss
kid,
them
my
days.
parents bought it for me, and they came home and it had a Star Wars pod racing game.
Oh my
I've never
gosh.
seen
On
Star
Sega
Wars either.
Genesis?
No, on N64.
Okay.
Sorry, my first system was N64.
Was N64 better than Genesis? I'm not a gamer.
I have no idea. I had
Yeah.
my N64, and that is like nostalgic for me.
How dare you not know
And
that?
I was super into this pod racing game. And I went. There's a place up in
That sounds really
New Jersey
good.
about where my parents live. That's called Yestercades, and it's like an arcade. But like against the walls in some places, they have TVs hooked up with like every gaming system hooked up to them.
I
you could
remember the
go in,
pod
like, for an
racing
hour.
like arcade game. Yeah.
And like you could go there and like play like the N64 for an hour. And,
I
like,
used to go
all
to the
those things.
video store in our town, and we would rent. You know what those are?
No.
not Blockbuster.
You don't have a
Well,
Blockbuster experience?
I did go to Blockbuster when I was like 3.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
So as young as Sammy, do you
Where
have a
we
Blockbuster
went
experience?
In Reisterstown,
Okay,
there was a
Sammy does.
Hollywood
There's hope for
Studios.
you.
That's where we went to rent
Hollywood
movies.
was good.
Yeah,
so
they had
there
all
was
the
just
like
a local
little things
one.
of cotton candy.
yeah,
and
they
stuff
that
like
was
that.
they had like snacks and everything.
You
Yeah.
can't beat the smell of a Blockbuster.
You know what else I was
I
thinking about
can't
after our
relate.
podcast last week talking about Blockbuster? Remember when they're still there, but remember when you were a kid and you'd walk in like the electronics section of Walmart and then you'd see like the TV up there
Oh my
and the
gosh.
controller hooked up thing and you'd
Are
be
they
like,
still there?
Yeah, they don't have
in
that
some
anymore.
places.
And you'd be like,
In
oh, let me
like
play the
older
demo.
But you'd
Walmarts,
also
I'm
have to
sure
sit
they
there and be
have
like-
them, but
to play, you'd have to like stare straight up into the sky.
yeah,
And
and
the
break
kids
your
would, like,
neck.
sit there and
Yes,
there'd be a line.
exactly. You'd have to like arch back, like leaning as hard as you can. But
And then you
holding
get
up the
like that
controller with, like,
pinched muscle in the back of your neck.
You'd be like leaving the story, and my goes wrong. You'd be like, nothing. Then you replay the game, doing no. I was just looking at the stuff at the top shelf.
But anyway, what was I
technically
going
it
to say?
was.
There was a game at the video store. There was a game at the video store in my hometown, and it was a Star Wars game. Like it was like Episode 1. I just remember
Were you allowed
had
to
like
do stuff with Star Wars, but not Harry Potter?
yeah,
Okay, interesting.
Star
I've
Wars
never
is
seen
a
Star
aliens.
Wars.
Oh,
universe. Like it's
okay. I just that was like something I thought about because like aliens and like wizards and witchcraft and stuff. I was like, I kind of put them in the same realm like fantasy.
yeah, but
so
I
like
guess
I thought I was
it's
wondering.
witchcraft and then like an alternate like universe. And a lot of Christians are big into Lord of the Rings too. Were you big? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We like
I love
you
Lord of the
concur?
Rings. That is definitely one of
Yeah,
my favorites.
Sammy's
That's what got me into that
experience as
like
well.
fantasy thing.
Genre?
Were you into Lord
Yeah,
of the
like
Rings?
Aragon.
Yeah,
I love
I-
Aragon. Not the
I
movie.
like
The
it.
movie
I like
was
Lord of the Rings. I've heard the movie was horrible. If you read the
The
books,
movie was awful. Yeah. Don't watch the movie.
Well, that was like
It's
the book. That was the book fair book, dude. Whenever you went to the book fairs, you'd like go in there. You'd be like, as a kid, you'd be like walk around. You'd be like, man, I got $12, and you'd be like, yo, look at that book with a giant dragon in the front. You pick it up, you'd be like, oh, it's $24, and you put it down, like
Yes,
go walk away and buy some erasers.
The fact that you picked books just because
I never
of the
had
cover.
book fair.
I was 8.
No, I'm saying, but
Okay,
everybody
so
did it.
There
Yeah,
was
you
a book
definitely
fair
did too at
at this
your point.
homeschool
Oh, yeah.
co-op, but other than that, I didn't have any book fairs
the book
because I
fair was the coolest thing
I didn't
about
go to
public
public school till like 10th or 11th grade. So
How was
Yeah, I was
that?
homeschooled as well. Yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah.
How was that transition? Like, when were you homeschooled till?
I went to public school for kindergarten and first grade, and they wanted to put me on Ritalin in first grade. So my mom pulled me out. So I was out, and then I was just coming to third grade. I wanted to be back in. This was like after 2 years. In my head, in my memory, it seems like it was a 10-year gap, but I think about it now, I'm like, that was like 2 or 3 years. So I got put into I went like half of third grade, and it didn't go well. So then I was out. So from third grade to 7th grade, I was homeschooled. So I went to school from 7th grade on to graduating.
And then you said
I
10th grade,
was-
and 11th grade, right?
yeah, I was homeschooled till
Wow, the homeschooled podcast.
10th grade, and then I went into a private school. I hated it. They were mean. They were awful there. So then I went to public school. They were horrible.
We went number one, Ricky Bobby.
Not first, you're last.
So we went to
Do you know that reference?
no references.
No.
No references were known
I was
that
waiting
day.
for an explanation, but it never came.
So there's a movie. It's Will Ferrell who plays like a race car driver, and like his saying in the movie is like, he's a race car driver, wins every race. So he's like,
First or
you're not
last.
first, you're last, because he always wins, so he always gets first.
End of story.
That's like literally the whole thing.
So
Oh, okay.
He just
we
says a lot in
went
the movie.
at one point. She was gonna put me. My mom was gonna put me into a private school, and we went around the school and it seemed cool and all. And I was probably 9, but the woman sat me down, and Sammy, you're gonna enjoy this. The woman sat me down. We sat down at the desk, and I liked the school, and she's like, "Oh, do you like the school?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you going to be able to handle going to school all day without your mommy?" And I was so offended. I was so offended. The fact that I was talked down to, and all I explained this to my mom was a SpongeBob reference when I was a kid. So I don't know if you remember, there's an episode of SpongeBob where they're taking hats or something. It's like they made the Krusty Krab fancy. And
Yes,
and
I
he
remember
said
that one.
and Squidward's like and it's Patrick's like, "Can I take your hat?" And he's like Squidward says, say it a little bit classier. He's like, "Do you mean like a weenie? Can I take your hat, sir? Can I take your hat, sir?" So that's what I said about the school, and my mom didn't know, and we literally just looked this up the other week because we were talking about this. But afterwards, she's like, "Well," I was like, "I don't want to go to that school. I'm not going to that school." She's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Because it's like, can I take your hat, sir? Can I?" Because this woman said, "Can you make it?
so funny.
Can you make it all day without your mommy?" And I was just like,
But also, that woman's probably seen before, like, a bunch of kids come and be like, "Yeah, I want to go to school," and then halfway through
then
the
they
first day, be
cry.
like, "I
I was so
Like, there's
offended.
definitely- there's-
I
she's
was
definitely
so
seen that before.
offended that they made
I bet they're
me out.
helicopter parents.
That they made
That's
me
why-
out to
that's-
be
that-
they would-
such a
that's why-
baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool."
I was just like, I'm not going to go to a place that I'm disrespected, ma'am.
I am Eddie,
At
and I am
9
9.
years
Put
old?
some respect on my name.
All 3 of y'all.
All 3 y'all. Eddie, there's 6 people in this room. All 3 of them. Just like walking out, just like a little kid thug, Eddie. Homeschool for life. Mom, I need some chicken tenders.
Homeschooling is not
Give me the
bad.
ketchup.
Homeschooling really is
I'm
not
gonna
all
homeschool
that
my
awful.
kids.
Okay.
I'm going to homeschool my kids.
But how is, like, I'm just thinking about, like, being homeschooled for that long and then, like, going to high school. Because I feel like high school is, like, a rough place to go to if you're not, like, used to, like, school.
It's like
Well,
rock bottom.
I
and
went to
SpongeBob.
like this really small
Why is everything a SpongeBob reference to
homeschool
you?
academy.
Because Sammy's back. Now it's SpongeBob.
I'm not even looking at him. I'm not looking at Sammy or you. I'm looking at the plant
He's,
now.
he's got
Process.
look at his awkward smile. Look at his awkward smile.
Eddie, calm down. It's okay. He's back.
I'm just happy that
You don't have to call him every night at 3 in the morning.
reunited
breathing
and
heavily.
it feels so good.
I don't know
The
that song.
podcast. Of course
no.
you don't know that song.
Hannah references just like
None. Absolutely none.
you don't, but you didn't know the Little Giants, the football
Come
movie.
on, The Little Giants was made in like 1995.
I know,
what year
but it
were
was
you
such a
born?
great movie. 1997.
No.
Like, no,
I know Facing the Giants. That's also a football movie.
I think it is. But there's a scene in it.
By a Christian, like by a church.
Like, well, that's why I haven't seen it.
I'm trying to think. It sounds somewhat familiar.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, that
It's
one."
actually a really good movie. I really like that movie.
There was a movie that I got from the church library that I want to watch till today now, but I'm sure it will be ruined. There was a movie about a kid that went out into the wilderness before his parents because he had to prepare a place for him or something, and he like had to hunt, and there was somebody that was trapping, and they had like the big traps for the bear, and he like took it, and he made friends with the Native Americans.
Dude, that's the story of Harry Potter. What if that's what
I
Harry
want to
Potter
know
was
what the
whole
story
time?
was. There. Is there anything from your childhood, any movie that you saw that you just don't know what it is, but still to this day you're like, that was so cool. But it's so good that you don't know what it is, because the fact of the matter is, if you went back and you watched it, you'd be like, this is so corny and so stupid.
I've rewatched
so you're better
things
with
as
the
an
memory.
adult that I liked as a kid and noticed how bad they were.
Dexter's Laboratory.
DT, get out of my
I
laboratory!
wouldn't have to watch
you
that because they're
idiot.
mean to each other
Oh,
in
you
the show.
imbecile or whatever
See,
it says.
I don't know if I
And
like,
Codename Kid Next Door, it was very limited.
Oh, don't I just...
And that was one of my faverites. And I only got to watch
Sam was
like
a big cartoons guy,
6
too.
episodes. You know, I loved cartoons, but my mom was like, "It's gonna fry your brain."
Well, honestly,
you know,
she might have had a point here. Look at me.
I just don't see
might
the
have had a
whole.
point.
Kentucky Fried.
Me and the Colonel.
I just
wants
don't
some of that
see the
Kentucky
whole
Fried
like the whole Christian perspective. I'm Christian, but like how everybody's like, oh, they're mean and all. Not watch this. I understand like you don't want your kids to be mean, but I just don't understand. I never understood that aspect of how
Yeah.
people will censor. Like, I'm not gonna let my kid watch. There's a lot of things I'm not gonna let my kid watch, but the reason is like, oh, they're mean to each other. Like, I'm gonna have like a deeper reason than just they
My
said.
mom was
what's, like,
very
your hard
much
cutoff?
like Blue's Clues, Dora, Go Diego Go, stuff like that.
What's my hard cutoff?
Like your hard cutoff. Like something
I mean,
like,
I'm
you'd be
not gonna-
My kid can never watch something with this in it.
Like sexualization stuff.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe super graphic can wait a while.
Now, super graphic, and it depends on in what. Because I'm fine with my kid watching something that is historical or about war that gives them an actual perspective.
true. That
like,
is true.
I
I
was
agree with
watching
that.
Gladiator when it came out.
Yeah.
Watched Patriot. I watched.
My dad didn't let me watch that.
I really.
No Gladiator. I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid.
That's one of my favorite movies.
That's a great
Were you
movie.
allowed to watch it as a kid? though?
Yes.
So you were allowed to watch
You guys are allowed to watch Gladiator, but not Scooby-Doo! Like, what is this?
Okay, I was like 13 though. Like once I was 13, I got this whole new like genre of movies and TV that I could watch.
I'm just
It was
saying.
Same
like,
thing to an extent
Oh,
to
you're
me.
13.
I started
You're mature
watching.
enough for this now. Like, no, not really, but I like it.
Okay, I might be a little. I probably was allowed to watch Gladiator when I was 13, but I was thinking like when I was a kid.
There are certain cartoons that do like I don't know, but more so nowadays. But back in the day, I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
Okay.
But
Well, nowadays I don't think you have to worry about cartoons. Most kids watch their stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
what do you mean you don't have to worry about cartoons?
No,
They
I
literally
mean
got-
like your kid's probably gonna
Cartoons.
pick to watch
what-
YouTube videos over cartoons. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the YouTube,
Sorry, I did not
even the
explain myself
YouTube
well.
stuff. You got to censor everything. You got to if you have a kid, you have to like watch everything beforehand to know that
Yeah.
they're not getting.
You gotta be
Even
up on their
stuff that's
favorite YouTubers
rated like
notifications.
E for everybody
Well, now-
could not be considered E for everybody.
Not back then by anyone's standards. I mean, you saw the drag parade that Nickelodeon had. You
What?
haven't
No.
seen that? Yes, they had
I've never seen this.
they had a drag queen in like it was colored or what, you know what I mean, like
Cartoon.
like a cartoon. Yeah.
Well, also,
So
oh, sorry. Finish your statement
Wait.
because I have an argument.
There's a
that's
drag
on both
queen
sides.
cartoon for kids.
yes,
oh, it's
you
a
have an
cartoon?
argument for that.
No, because remember the Powerpuff Girls when we were kids.
They had characters.
Remember,
No,
who
this
was
is
it? It was
literally
him, or whatever that character's name was. The little like devil guy with
Look.
the crab
Oh,
claws.
the lobster
with that weird
guy.
voice, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
the-
I know it-
I think he's actually like gay or something.
It was a weird character.
But that was
Which
but
now
it
it's
wasn't,
not a
but
problem, but-
it was never said if he was. That was
No, it
always
was the
implied back in the day.
implication of
Yeah,
it.
and that was the line.
okay.
I'd like to even draw that line, but nowadays, look it up. There was a here. Go ahead. Just get your reaction to this. We're gonna get Rhino and the Dude reacts. Look up. Go to YouTube. Look up Cartoon Network drag song. It's about the
Well, you said Nickelodeon first. So is it Cartoon Network Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
Okay, sorry.
I believe it's
you told me
Nickelodeon.
two different things.
Sorry.
How dare you?
You did.
I'm sorry, Sammy. I've definitely just confused two saints of yours.
Definitely.
Oh,
Let me see.
I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to find it. Are you talking about this lady?
Let me see.
What the
But
heck
yes,
is that?
that's
I just typed in Nickelodeon drag queen.
Wait, why does Blue's Clues come up for that?
Oh no, Blue's Clues had it too.
What, for real?
It's for real, man. Here you go. This is it.
Wait,
Blue's
that's Blue's
Clues-
Clues now?
The Blue's Clues Pride song.
Shame. That is shame.
I believe this is it.
Here, we're about to turn the volume down so we don't get anyone coming after us. Which one do you mean?
Hear it. You need to hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's that, and then there is the other one too.
Yeah.
Look, let me show you. Then look at this one.
That one
they made for kids.
That one I didn't see anything wrong with.
No.
You don't see
No, I don't
anything
see
wrong
it.
with
It's
it.
It's just different
Okay.
model of family
What
that
about
you haven't
this?
seen in the world
Okay,
nowadays.
sure.
I don't think children need
I'll
to
give
be
you that.
worrying about stuff like
Yes,
that, but it's
exactly.
not.
Kids don't need
it's
to be
not
worried about that.
blatantly horrible.
If I can see where you're at. I don't think that that's acceptable, but I can see where you're at.
I
How about this
wouldn't
one?
want my kids to worry about stuff like that. Like, I want them to be kids.
This is Nickelodeon as well. So this is, if you are watching this right now, is the Pride flag song that they are
As an
indoctrinating
adult,
our kids with on
I don't
Nickelodeon
see much wrong with that, but I don't want kids
This is-
watching it.
for children.
Like,
This is Nickelodeon.
I just don't think that children need to be
Oh, sorry.
worrying about
I'm like
things
way away
like
from my
that.
mic. Oh, we lost Sammy
Uh-oh.
out too. Here, I'll go get
Sammy.
I'll go get baby for you.
Sammy
coming,
got
baby.
locked out the door.
Ugh. Come on, Sammy.
I have strong opinions about it. I'm gonna keep this to myself.
Sorry.
I had to throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
That was locked. I'm so sorry, you guys.
No, you're good, Sammy. I got you.
I mean, you could. This is what we're here for.
I mean, me
What, going back to
personally,
that video?
I don't care what you think that you are, but like my
Don't-
kids will not be watching something like that because I want them to be kids. I don't want them to worry
Yes.
about what their sexuality is or their gender identity
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, that
those are big
it
topics
makes
for
it
kids.
confusing, and then
That-
they end up depressed because
Exactly.
they don't know who they really don't know who they are. Then
There's been numerous people that, tomboys or just kids that are going through whatever, and they, people will say, what if that happened now? So a tomboy back when we were kids, oh, she just likes playing with trucks in the mud and throwing the football,
that was
whatever.
me. That was me. I wanted
But
to play
now,
with the boys because it was
thank
more fun.
God-
The girls were like, "Ooh, I
But
broke
thank
my
God
nail."
that you grew
Not
up
like
in a
that.
Christian home that wouldn't have fell for that. But if you grew up in a home that was victim to this, they might have been like, oh, I think that, do you feel like a boy? Do you feel like a boy? You don't know what a difference between a boy and a girl is when you're, you know what I
No,
mean?
the
To a
only
deep
thing
end.
is,
But
like
you-
when
but
you're growing up, you're like, oh, there's boy colors and girl colors because like girls like
that's
pink and
literally-
purple. Like
but-
as a
but think-
child, that's what you think.
But think about it. If you didn't have your upbringing, you lived in this day and age, so they would have said to you, oh, you like playing with trucks? Do you feel like a boy? Do you feel like a boy?
I would be
and you would,
so confused
but that's what I'm saying.
because
but
my mom was telling me that I'm a girl, and then all of a sudden she's asking, "Do you want to be a boy because you like to play with trucks?" I'm like,
But think
"Just
about
like
somebody.
trucks."
Think about somebody that.
Cool.
Think about somebody that is, the parents are fully bought into all this stuff, and their kid likes to just play with. As a girl likes to play with, trucks. They're gonna start to be like, oh, I think our kid's trans. I think they're trans. Do you feel like a boy? Boys play with trucks. Dude.
Well, now on the other side of the argument, being exposed to I feel like the idea is like to push out understanding, and like again, kids probably should not be at the age they're watching Blue's Clues, should not be deciding their gender identity, should not be deciding their sexuality. That should
Right.
be way out of their minds. They should just be being kids. If you
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
play with the
if you
truck,
wanna do that
pick
as
up
an
the top of the
adult-
truck and go push it around some dirt. Like that's
Right.
cool.
If you wanna
wanna
do that
chill
as
there
an
and do your hair,
adult-
chill out and do your hair.
Because I'm assuming kids watching Blue's Clues are like 4.
Yeah, no.
Yes, that's not even. Once
Like-
by the time you're 8, your Blue's cool. By the
Blue's
time you're
Clues
8,
is not cool enough for you.
by
at
the
8.
time you're 8, if your friends know that you watch Blue's Clues, you're like, oh, you want to go watch Blue's Clues with your little baby sister? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's who that's marketed to. Think about that.
Well, I don't know. I don't see anything crazy wrong with it. I think the idea is like to make people feel like they're comfortable and understood in the world. And like,
But why
again, but
kids?
You don't have to push.
They didn't tell
gotta
us
push
about
them
our
back.
parents. Oh, they didn't explain any of that. Like, why they don't need to explain our parents' relationships, straight, gay, whatever.
Yeah.
Why explain any of that to kids? Like,
I guess the Blue's Clues age, it doesn't make sense, but maybe just because you're gonna see it in the world. I'm completely
get
playing devil's
that.
advocate.
I know you're playing devil's advocate,
playing
but you
complete
really
devil's
need
advocate.
to have a propaganda, essentially a propaganda
pretty much what it
song
is.
that is telling you
it's a
the
weird
colors
song.
of the pride flag and telling
the
you
pride flag one was
the
weird 'cause I didn't
families
know
go
each color
marching
mattered
one
something.
by one, hurrah,
Until I
hurrah.
was
Like, come on,
13,
come on.
I had no idea that the rainbow was like the pride flag colors.
I mean,
I had no idea. My
that was
sisters
something that
loved
was
the rainbows when they
I
were
didn't
growing up.
recently,
Honestly,
really,
when I was a
like-
kid,
Then all of
I
a
didn't know
sudden
it
I
a
was
thing.
I was
like,
probably in my
oh, wait a
20s,
minute. Like,
Yeah, I think I was
that's
like
kind
in
of
college when I learned that.
Yeah,
Like, I had
But
no
also,
idea.
I never really like asked about it. I was just like, oh yeah, that's a rainbow. Like, who cares? And I went on with my day.
Yeah.
But think about the surgeries, all that stuff, the chemicals that they're gonna get. But nowadays, if your parent is a nutcase, because if you are transitioning your child and your child is a child and you are giving your child puberty blockers and you want to mar their body, you are a nutcase and you should be ashamed of yourself and
Absolutely.
cancel me.
Absolutely.
But
I
come for me.
100% agree
Come
with that.
for me. Come
Like-
for me. So, if they were of that ideology and you played with trucks, you may have
Been a completely different person.
been a completely different person
entirely.
and been so confused. And then a lot of these people and the suicide rates among it are very high.
Yeah, because they're so
I'm not
confused
saying
they
this
don't
to,
know themselves.
I'm not saying this to be hateful or anything like that, because anybody that was convinced by their parents to do that, I feel that they're a victim of being, because you could be convinced to anything. I mean, look at how kids are radicalized into this or that, you know.
Right. Well, now they're giving the parents like opportunities to transition their kids early for college.
Yeah.
So they're saying now if you're going to be trans in the other gender sport, you need to be having puberty blockers before puberty.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be giving
But-
parents incentive.
Sports wise, that makes sense though, just because
Right.
that swimmer. What was that? The
Leah
transgender
Thomas.
female swimmer who destroyed like the world
Leah Thomas.
record.
Right, but now they're
mean the
giving
one that's,
people
like, more
excuses
built
to
than
do
me?
that to their children.
Yeah, yeah, she like broke the record.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
of
I
course
guess that
she
makes
did.
sense because it makes sports kind of unfair. I understand.
But
the idea
even
of sports.
I mean we can get into the weeds with that, but but still it's just I forgot what I was going to say before you said that, but
Yeah, sorry, I kind of blocked you off with that.
Yeah.
One. But I like just in sports, it makes sense to me just because I feel like it's unfair advantage to the
Right.
women who
it
have
makes
not had the
sense, but
testosterone pumping through
it
their body
never
and had
makes
that growth.
sense to give a kid
you're-
whatever kid. I don't even think the kid should be given. You're going to disagree with me that this is your background, but I really don't think that kids should be given any type of drugs, like even ADHD stuff. I think that, I mean, I was taken out of school because of that, and I understand how it can improve kids' behavior, but I think of it as an aspect of, do we really have the best educational system for the kids? Because I don't feel that I should have to give a kid a pill for them to get in line and be educated. I feel that we should. How can we make an education system and an education curriculum that appeals to these kids? They can't sit still. Nobody gave pills to kids for hundreds or thousands of years for all of our existence, but now in the last 100 years, now we give pills to kids so they can learn. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, why isn't the focus on, hey, we don't have the best method of educating kids, let's find a new way, versus, hey, let's just give them some drugs so they sit
there's
It's
there.
like
There's
trying to
research
make the
going
kids fit
into
a
it, too, to
societal
learn
standard more than anything, than being themselves.
Teaching changes all the time.
Yeah.
The methods change, all that stuff changes. And I've seen people, and in your argument, I think for a huge percentage of human beings is correct.
Yeah.
But I do believe there's a small percentage of people that having that medicine in their body from a young age helps them.
Yeah,
in the long run.
I can
Percentage wise,
agree.
I do believe that there's even if it's 4%, that truly it does, throughout their whole life, when they're a kid, it helps them till now when they're
Right.
30, 40
I think
years
there
old.
should be more restriction on how many kids are given these medicines. You know, like it should be a more strict protocol for who actually needs to receive the medication.
Yeah, like there's definitely going to be people that, like you said, there's a percentage of it. But think about how many kids you knew in your school that were just put on medicine. I feel like back when we were younger, I don't know how it is now, and you can tell me, but I know when we were younger, that was everybody. Like, oh, put them on medicine. Everybody, they wanted to put everybody on medicine, especially in the 90s.
Nice, we were just like, yeah,
Yeah.
take a pill. We're cool.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
It's like, I wasn't alive yet.
but
I was in 97, but I was like,
Oh, that makes me feel weird.
But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there definitely is probably a segment, but not what it used to be. And I don't know what the numbers are now.
think,
That's not something that I've
honestly,
really studied and followed.
Yeah, when you're not following that much, your idea, like if this argument happened in like the early, when we were in school, I think you'd be 100% right.
They're not medicating them as much now.
I think there's more things done than just like medicating.
Yeah.
There's other things. There's certain types of therapies. There's different people that
And
professions and stuff like
that's
that
good.
that's grown from it all. And I think your argument from what you learned and like having to deal with all that when you were a kid,
from my personal experience when I was in
like
the
100% correct.
yes. Yeah.
But like how it is now and how it truly is ran when it's being done right too, because like people do it wrong, people don't follow the things, is not right. Just because there's a lot more following with it now, and there's other things that there's alternative.
We
methods
understand
than just
more
Well,
medicine.
that's
Yes,
good.
Because
and we're
just think about
That's
it.
good.
trying to do something different, and we're also checking they're checking like they're playing with how much medicine they're giving them. If this medicine works or this one better, like they do.
And I'm
change it
sure
and try
that
it
there's
with different
more
stuff.
That's good.
there's more things to look at now. I'm just assuming
Yeah.
this because now we know about diets, but I'm sure back in the day it's like, oh, little Johnny eats, 6 bags of Skittles before he comes to school. Oh, I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's give him some Ritalin. You know what I mean? Like we'll get him right straight now. Maybe just don't feed him the damn Skittles.
that kid's
well, he
breakfast is a
cries.
Skittle.
He cries when he eats the Skittles. Well, tell him to shut up and don't give him the Skittles.
just
Give
tell
him
him
a
to
chicken.
shut up.
Give him a chicken breast and send him to school
Chicken breast for breakfast, Mr. Eggs and Olives.
and some olives.
what did you have for breakfast growing
Chicken
up? What
breast
the heck?
and look,
Chicken-
look,
Anyone on a
here we
Gaines
go.
diet.
Here we go. Chicken breast, and if you want to complain about the Skittles again, you're getting olives on your chicken breast.
But you can't go to the Subway at 8 o'clock because the guy just walked in the door. You gotta wait till 8:45 when he's ready.
And the kids are already in school. Dang you! My kids need chicken breast and olives.
Eddie's on that childhood bodybuilder diet, like olives, rice, and chicken.
I was 0% fat when I was a kid. 0% body fat.
All gains.
Jacked.
Eddie was just like deadlifting, just like 500 pounds as a kid. That's really why I got kicked out of school. That's why he's not really telling us. He was just deadlifting the teachers.
I did try to organize an escape once.
You watched too much Rugrats.
It wasn't Rugrats. I am a very nostalgic person. I'm going to make a reference that I bet no one in this room will know
I
because
definitely won't.
I was like, I wasn't
you
even
actually
alive.
might. If anybody knows it, it'll be either one of you guys growing up in a Christian home because you probably watched older movies because they were more acceptable, right?
Yeah, when
Okay.
I sat down to watch movies.
The Great Escape. Steve McQueen.
No, I've never seen
What is?
Ooh,
I
not
forgot
even
who
Sam
all
is
was in
with
there.
you. You're all alone in this
No,
one,
I
big
don't
guy.
know The Great
Okay,
Escape.
The
I've
Great
heard
Escape.
of it, but I don't.
The
I
Great
never
Escape
watched
was a
it.
movie that came out probably in 1950 or
It's
1960.
also a song by Boys Like Girls.
So The Great
know.
Escape was a movie that came out then.
song.
Eric, it was a movie.
It was
that
a
came
good
out-
song.
Okay, it was a movie that came out then, and it was about POWs in a Nazi camp, like a World War II camp that
Okay.
English and American, I think Russian. I don't know.
That's why I
But
didn't
anyway,
watch
they
it.
they organized an escape. So like one of them jumped off on the motorcycle, and it was this big escape. So anyway,
Did they escape?
yeah, some of them did. I forgot how it all ends. But anyway, I loved that movie as a kid.
Honestly,
And
not too much. You don't remember how it ends.
I mean, I haven't watched it.
I remember the little giant sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know some of them get caught, and I think one of them or two of them gets away, and a couple of them get killed, I think. So anyway, the theme from that is the Recess theme. The Recess took it from Great Escape.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
there you go.
Love that show.
So
I never watched it.
But also,
so,
But
so,
let me
so hold
watch
on, let me tell my story.
Recess.
So I watched that movie all the time, and in the 3rd grade, I was like, when I went back, I told the kids, and hey man, at recess you want to escape? And they're like, yeah, I want to escape. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we can go home, we can escape. And I was 1,000% serious. So the kids that I had talked with, they come out, and there was like an open fence. Like if you walked long enough, it would open up and you could like get out.
Just get out.
So I was like, all right, well, all of us can't go. Somebody's got to take one for the team. So you go over there we're going to go as far as we can that they allow us to go on to the side near where we can get out. And you go all the way over here by where the bushes are on the other side. And I need you to fall down on the ground and just start screaming. And all the teachers are going to run for you. And when they run for you, we're going to run that way. And these kids, and we're going to get out of here. These kids.
I love the diversion.
Looked at me, and they're like, oh, I thought we were just playing a game. And I was just like, no, I told you we were escaping.
Eddie was committed.
I was trying to actually do it, and they were playing a game. I was going to go home that day.
Eddie's like, I miss my mommy. It
wasn't that. I just hated school. I mean, you know, I probably miss my mommy, but I mean, my mom's nice. I love you, Mom. Love you, Mom. But I probably just wanted to go home and play with some sticks in the woods, you know?
That's fair.
So.
Now, can I ask my question?
Yes.
If it was the Great Escape, if a couple people died and then only 2 people got away and someone got caught, was that really a great escape?
I mean,
Like,
they planned the Great Escape.
It didn't
I don't
go
know.
well. Only 2 of them got away. Great Escape would be like you and your friends, everyone getting out of the...
I guess. I don't know.
And why is it every recess field when you're a kid in public schools always had like just like an opening on the side that like you just walk out of? Like it wasn't like.
I
just,
wonder
like,
if it was for
fenced-in
for
Probably
emergency.
like
guess so.
emergency
In case
safety.
a ambulance
I guess maybe.
had to come in.
I don't know. I was like even when I was a kid, like that much schools I went to, like there was always just like an entrance off to the side that you could just walk out of, like straight into a parking lot or something.
Yeah.
The one like we could walk straight in the woods.
Yeah. I remember, it is kind of weird, but I imagine so they could like if they needed to drive a
Need to just be like,
ambulance
Yeah,
right there.
no,
to the
actually, that
playfield.
makes complete
makes
sense.
a lot of sense.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and
Never thought of
they
that.
wouldn't want to have a gate that somebody could lose the key for
Yeah.
or something.
I just remember.
But I really feel like they could do it better because it's like this big open space. Like, couldn't they like put it by like the side of the school, like to where it's just enough to get something through? But I guess they want fire trucks and
Yeah, also,
I guess
like,
I don't know. They
you
probably
can't-
need a certain amount of
You
space.
don't want to make it too small so the ambulance has to like slow down to get in if you really need to like get there.
Yeah, and especially
I
if
mean-
somebody's parked and
Yeah.
blocking illegally
And then use
parked,
some
they
space,
gotta. Yeah. True. Here we go. Solving the.
solving more problems.
Your great. What's that?
The great debates.
1 minute.
1 minute. Solving the great debates. All right, so we have 1 minute here, and just to let you know, this podcast has been brought to you by.
Hey, Doud Real Estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, ask what the Doud can do for you.
Let the dude fight for
I don't-
you.
I don't
It's the
know what
bootleg
the- I don't
version.
know.
410-588-6536. I wasn't going to say that. It's been brought to you by the Podcast Lab. But 1 minute remains, and the question of the day.
Question of every day.
Of every day. Of every podcast.
In our nonsensical world that we live in, I'm going to make up a theoretical for you.
Okay.
It's 2020, what is it? 2024. Presidential election. You got 2 candidates left. You got on one side Pete Davidson, Skeet, or Kanye West on the other side. Yeah, true. Hannah doesn't really know who Skeet is. So Skeet is the guy. Kanye
Or
West
you can
brother
just
with
write
Kim
somebody in
Kardashian.
if you don't know either one.
Okay. You know what Kanye West is. Kanye West and running out of people. Come on.
Well, you have Pete Davidson and Kanye West. Do you not know who either one of these people are?
I know who Kanye West is. I don't know who Pete Davidson.
That's what the problem is.
So who would you vote for in this case?
I wouldn't vote.
You wouldn't vote. Who would you write in? Who would you write in? Anybody?
Who are you writing in?
Does it have to be like artists or anybody?
No.
Anybody in the world.
Who's like that one celebrity you'd be like, man, you could be my
Keanu
president.
Reeves.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves.
Dude, John Wick running the country? Yo, wait a second.
Listen,
Is
Putin.
this John Wick 4?
Listen, Putin.
Yo, John Wick 4 goes after Putin. He's got the bulldog. He's like, kill my dog, Putin. Like, it all goes back to Putin at the end. Like, that's the whole series.
All right, so we settled it here. This has been the Rhino and the Dude, joined by Hannah and the Rhino and the Dude. And this is another episode. Talk to you guys soon.
Peace.